The third one that you have, and it seems like we say this every week, and it seems like every week they fail to do it, end every drive in a kick.
Well, I get redundant here, but you're going to see this play right here. You're going to see the running back next to look how open he is. And that's Winston trying to hit the home run where he doesn't need to. So they have to figure out, again, look at the tailback swing here, corner drops. All he's got to do is put it on him. That's going to be a tough tackle for a corner on a big back. So what the Browns have to do and what Jameis Winston has to do is that he has to understand that the defense is still the strength of this team. The defense has still got a lot of really good players at all three levels. And until they get this figured out with the run game, with getting the ball, touches to different people, they have to play close to the best. And if you can end, and what every drive in a kick basically means punts now are bad. And if you punt the ball and make a team go 90, 80, 90 yards, and they do that, then you lose anyway. But the Browns are giving up too many short fields with both their special teams and their offense. So, again, it sounds redundant. I say a lot of the things each week, but football is like that. Football is a game of consistently doing the right things. Habits are, you are what you consistently do, and that's a habit. The Browns have to create better habits.
So they went to work and kind of did a self-scout on the bye week, did the Browns. Do you expect them to change back to more of that Kevin Stefanski type of running game?
I do. And the reason why is because the weak side zone and the counters and pulling those guards, that's what they did well for so long. And when you start thinking about jobs on the line, when you start thinking about, your ability to, as a head coach, people are questioning Kevin Stefanski, which I'll go on record saying I think Kevin Stefanski is one of the best play designers I've ever seen. He's a great play caller. He tries to maximize. And sometimes when you delegate too much, the bottom line is everything rolls downhill and you're the last one in line. And as a head coach, you got to go back to what you know. And I also believe this: you can only fix what you know. And right now, he's trying to fix stuff that's not his style. Zone, some of these RPOs, some of the things that they kind of did, they kind of didn't do. They got to get back to what he does so he knows how to fix it. And if you're going to go down, and this is going to be your last season or whatever happens, I always believe you go down with what you do best. And if it's not good enough, then it's not good enough. I would hate to see somebody lose a job because they're not doing what they do.
What about the defense? We talked about it a little bit last week. The breakdowns against the Chargers were, there are 3 or 4 plays, and there's probably 5 plays. There's 5 to 6 plays that decide every NFL game. And the Browns blew the coverage in 4 of them against the Chargers, and one of them was a kick coverage, but those 4 plays cost them the game.
Well, yeah, so if you're in man coverage and they are playing some man, they're playing some zone, you're going to give up some big plays. What you got to do is you got to give up chunks, not home runs. And that's what they're doing right now is they're giving up home runs when they miss. Now, a lot of it has to do with the offense. The offense has to do its part. And I truly believe that all football is still, even at the NFL level, is very complementary. So those defensive guys are relying on their offense to score 21, 28 points. And the Browns aren't doing that. And when you do that, you start to press on defense and you try to make things go, you try to play perfect and you try to make, I would say the big thing they have to do defensively is not change who they are, maybe create some more turnovers, maybe bring some blitzes, maybe disguise some coverages more, maybe challenge in man coverage. There's lots of different answers, and I believe in coaches, and these guys work very hard, and they have long hours. So they have a plan. I think that defense has got to create some turnovers. They got to create some short fields. They have not done a really good job of creating short fields for the offense. So that would be the next bet. They've played pretty solid this year. They've had some breakdowns. But they know if they don't play, close to the best, that there's a possibility they're going to lose because the offense is so bad right now.
So I know you've watched plenty of film. Have you seen a progression in Nick Chubb, and do you think is he? I kind of get the feeling that he might be ready, break a couple of big runs.
I do. The problem is right now with Nick Chubb, just like everything else, they don't pass protect, but Nick Chubb is getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. Well, basically he's getting hit at the line of scrimmage. I think it's 0.1 or 0.2. So, he's getting hit before he even gets going. So the Browns offensive line has to do a little better job of just giving him a minor seam. And we know from the past, he doesn't need much of a seam. Do I think he's back healthy? Yes. I think he's going to get better and better. I don't care who you are. Nick Chubb is a freak when it comes to athleticism. There was going to be a testing period of that knee. When you have a knee injury like that, you don't know if it's going to work the same. But all indications that are back. But once again, you're not a good running back unless you have a good offensive line. And as good as Nick Chubb is, and he's as good as it gets, they need to get some movement so he can make some dynamic plays downfield. If they don't get any movement, he's going to get tackled like he is now over and over and over.
So the switch that you're talking about, in the run game would also be to help benefit Nick Chubb.
Yeah, because there's less thinking up front, and I'm a big believer. I don't care what level you're at. If you're doing less thinking up front at any position, but especially offensive line, if your brain is thinking, your feet aren't moving, and so they have to simplify and get these guys getting off the ball downhill with attitude, knowing what they have. A lot of times in zone, there's so much goes into it because there's two guys for two guys, and you adjust what you do offensively based on what the two defenders do. In gap schemes, you come down inside with your hair on fire and try to knock somebody out. And I think that's what they got to do. And with that, you will give up some penetration at times, but you're going to create some running lanes that the Browns need right now. They need to create an identity. They need to get back to knocking people off the football. I don't care what level you are. You got to run the football to have success. You got to stop the run. You got to run the ball. And until the Browns do that, they're going to struggle.